να ευχαριστήσω ιδιαίτερα τους...
Above all, let me thank the organizers of the forum for this invitation that matters a lot to me. It is a big honor to take part in an event such as St Petersburg Economic Forum. I know that many are asking themselves a question: why am I here, not in Brussels? Why am I not participating in the negotiations there? But I'm here because I believe that a role of the country that is searching to explore all its potential to reach success in every area, and that is carrying a multifaceted policy towards so many countries, is very prominent. The country of the kind has a big role to play, and the international format that we've been pursuing after the global crisis of 2008 is different from what it had been. We, in Europe, were illusional for some time. We believed that we were the center of the world, and we only relied on our neighbors. However, the economic center of the planet has shifted. There are new emergent forces that are playing a more important role geopolitically and economically. In general, I'd like to say that international relations are more and more characterized with multipolarity. The role of G8 in enhancing the importance of cooperation with Asia is very relevant, as well as the role of G20. Enhancing cooperation within the BRICS countries is another manifestation of the new world order that is shaping at the moment. The Eurasian Economic Union, a new entity of the regional integration, is potentially a very good example of such trends. This is an association that can produce new economic goods and provide for welfare of the countries. Anyway, the changes in themselves will not bring around a more stable world. Due to the old challenges like poverty, unemployment, marginalization of the whole layers of our society, and crisis still exist, as well as collisions at the Middle East, Africa, and even in the Black Sea region. At the moment, we have to take into account that the economic development centers are moving, they are shifting, and we have to address all the challenges we are facing, keeping that in mind. That is also relevant to the process of economic development. It is going to speed up. As Jacques Delors has recently said, our economy will be a casino economy. And that had happened just before the crisis of 2008. As for Europe and the Western world, let me explain what's at stake at the moment. It is essential to carefully address the challenges that we are facing at the moment. We have to build the bridges for cooperating with the other countries of the world. We don't have to stick to the old standards and to continue building walls around us. For example, the crisis in Ukraine is a new hotbed of instability within Europe, which is a very bad sign for the international relations in general. Instead of economic prosperity and cooperation, what we are witnessing in the region is the process that might lead to militarization, war, and imposing sanctions. This vicious circle has to be disrupted as soon as possible, and diplomatic initiatives in this regard have already been in place. I'm referring to implementation of Minsk agreements that have to be totally supported. The country I represent here, Greece, is at the geographical center that is at the crossroads of all those trends and crises, Greece still preserves the status of a center of stability in the region. We are a Balkan country, a Mediterranean country, but at the same time we also work and interact with the Black Sea region countries. So we perceive ourselves as a bridge of cooperation in the region, as an investment and trade hub. We are also a transportation hub and a center for energy cooperation, tourism and exchanges in education area. We are at the crossroads of 3 continents. In this regard, we are definitely willing to benefit from our location and to participate in international fora where we are presented as a EU member. And we'd also like to use our position as a springboard in order to benefit from it. We'll take every effort in order to achieve good results based on the cooperation that we've been enjoying with other countries. Russia is one of the most important partners for us. We're also working with new regional organizations. As all of you are fully aware, we are, at the moment, at the center of a storm, of a whirlpool. But you know, we live near the sea, so we're not scared of storms, we're not scared of open seas and of going into new seas. We are ready to go to new seas in order to reach new safe ports. Dear friends, the problem we are facing now, and our European partners are facing, is deeply rooted in the process that I've described. The European Union, and Greece is a member of the European Union, should pursue its own path. European Union should go back to its initial principles of solidarity, justice, and social justice. Ensuring strict economic measures will lead us nowhere. The so-called problem of Greece is not just Greece problem. It is the problem of the whole European Union. This is the problem that is deeply rooted in the structure of the European Union. So the question is whether European Union can once again become a development center, a region that will enjoy prosperity and solidarity, whether European Union will again be a social solidarity hub, or it will continue to pursue the path that will lead to a dead end. The new emerging multipolar world will be definitely based on a new order, but it will only be based on a new order if it eliminates all the things inherited from the old world orders. Up until now, it has taken courage on behalf of the leaders to take those decisions, but we cannot continue carrying the burden of the past. If we continue doing so, we'll have to continue making the same mistakes again and again, and we are doomed for failure. So the question is how we have to improve, what we have to do in order to be successful. Thank you.
It'll be the Russian President and the Greek Prime Minister's second meeting in 2 months, so it's a cozy relationship, if enigmatic. As a matter of fact, it's been a point of great contention what exactly the Greek Prime Minister is doing, what game he's playing, what he's trying to do with this shift towards Russia, towards the east, whether he's trying to eke concessions out of Europe and the IMF with regards to Greece's loans, or whether there's an entirely different goal he has in mind. The Russian president as well, he was asked whether he's using Greece as a Trojan horse in order to split Europe apart.
Regarding mythology and Trojan horses and so forth, the question would be valid if I was the one going to Athens. We're not forcing anyone to do anything. We're simply open to joint constructive work to achieve the best result for our peoples and economies.
The Greek energy minister and his Russian counterpart have signed an agreement on the Turkish Stream, a new gas pipeline that will stretch from Russia under the Black Sea into Turkey and then into Greece. That pipeline, though, has really upset Eurocrats and hawks in Washington. They're afraid that Russia will gain even more energy leverage over Europe. They're trying to dissuade Greece from going along with this. But for Greece, there's an entire bouquet of benefits at stake. For example, there are the transit fees. Greece stands to make millions every year just from letting this gas pass through its territory. Also, it would qualify for gas discounts, which would be of tremendous help for the Greek economy. So a lot of pressure on Greece, but a lot of benefits at stake as well.
Russia's major economic conference, which has attracted business leaders who control over $5 trillion of industry. President Putin answered some of their questions on Friday afternoon.
Cold wars are not triggered by local conflicts, but by global decisions, like the United States withdrawing from the anti-ballistic missile treaty. This is pushing all of us into a new arms race. We do not build our relations, including those with China, against anyone. These alliances are for, not against, and are built with our national interests in mind. Russia does not aspire to be a superpower. We do not impose our standards of action or development on anyone. We want equal rights for all members of the international community. Syria could end up like Libya or Iraq. Before Saddam Hussein was brought down, there were no terrorists in Iraq.
So a lot of topics covered there, but the forum in St Petersburg has also been the stage for multi-million-dollar deals, despite the tense relations between Russia and the West. Murat Gazdiev is RT's correspondent at the forum.
In the lead up to the St. Petersburg Economic Forum, there's a lot of doubt, a lot of pessimism about what might come of it, you know, with sanctions hanging heavy over it, as well as attempts to isolate Russia. But those fears really proved baseless. There were academics, business leaders, CEOs, politicians representing more than half the countries of the world here.
Russia is the largest country of gas with gas. We are here, we are developing, continue to invest in a very large project, Yamal LNG, a new gas province. And so it's a question of managing risks.
As could be expected of any business gathering this size, there was plenty of wheeling and dealing, and I must say especially dealing. There were billions and billions dollars worth of new agreements signed here in St. Petersburg, new gas pipelines, energy project stakes, cooperation agreements, and the likes. But again, overshadowing it were political developments outside. A number of European states have begun seizing Russian government property in Europe, and this is in relation to the Yukos case, an energy company that was based in Russia early on last decade, that was found guilty of massive tax evasion, and President Putin commented on those seizures.
Our position is well known. In such cases, the Hague Arbitration Court only has jurisdiction over countries that have signed and ratified the European Energy Charter. Russia has not ratified the Charter, so we do not recognize the jurisdiction of the court, and we will prove this through established legal means. We will defend our interests.
Top Greek officials at the forum have been sharing their thoughts on future cooperation between Moscow and Athens too.
I think there is a lot of potential in a number of sectors, and as soon as problems that exist at this point between EU and Russia are overcome, I think then the potential will be fully developed.
Our delegation, both the political and the business delegation, was very successful here, and I think it's a new beginning for the economic relations between Russia and Greece.